This is the place. I got the call. I'm a mercenary. Your move. Tools of the trade. You have yours, I have mine.
Yoink!
What? Aw, dang it. Ouch! Jeez, kid. You gotta be careful with that. If I still had my blaster, you'd be a pile of ash now. I'm charging you 2,000 gold for doing that.
Okay, what's your deal?
The deal is simple, kid. You let me in, and I will jumpstart your city's defenses and give your leadership precious information about your enemies.
Oh, cool!
Not so fast. You don't let me in, I'm taking the same info about the sprawl and selling it to the highest bidder.
Okay, come on in.
Not so fast. It'll cost you.
How much?
Well, that's up for negotiation.
How do I know you're good for it?
A Bangdalorian always keeps their word.
Okay, how much?
All right, 1,000 gold.
500 gold.
Fine, 500 gold. I'll assist your city with its defenses and provide enemy intel for the agreed upon price of 500 gold.
Here, take this contract to the castle. They'll settle up with you.
A pleasure doing business with you, kid.
What happened? Where am I? The palace. Oh, the wedding! But it's not the same. Desdemona's gonna marry Praetor Kargan, and there's that bastard Tyronius, and he's got my chronometer. What is he gonna do?
I now pronounce you married. You may now kiss.
Oh my god! Dad! No! No, 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 no!
I've been pincushioned with arrows a few times in my day. Ugh, but this time they hit something important. To think I've lived through a whole war only to die at a wedding. Lil, I'm sorry I failed you. I love you, Lil.
Dad? Don't do this to me. This can't be happening. Dad, please, come back.
Drat! Even without that infernal goblin interfering, things still escalate. This won't do at all! Oh well, off to another timeline with more favorable variables.
Oh God, what?
Dad! You're alive!
What? I'm unarrowed? What's going on?
I don't have time to explain.
I'm sorry, I'm inconveniencing you?
I've got no time for another tutorial. Okay, try not to get his attention, but go stand by that necromancer.
Ooh, spooky. Whatever you say, kiddo.
Articulus, I need your help. You see that necromancer by the altar?
I didn't until you pointed him out. How very strange.
Well, he's protected by a force field. Do you have a spell or something that could help me with that?
I know spells that might work, but I'm not technically licensed to cast it.
matter of life and death. Spill it.
Okay, fine. There is a loophole. If the ancient elven hymn Et Fici Pulmentum in Brachus is being performed, my license increases by 3 levels. Then I'd have no problem casting the spell for you.
What does the title of that elvish song mean?
No one knows.
I'll see what I can do. This is kind of a strange request, but can I borrow your chef's knife?
Have you filled out requisition form 88B.7?
Yes?
Well then, here you are.
Excuse me, but do you take requests? Would you be able to sing Et Fici Pulmentum in Brachus?
Ah, a true connoisseur. No problem.
Do you hear that?
I can feel the prohibitive and arbitrary restrictions placed on my spellcasting fading away. Behold.
Dad, now!
How's this for being a useless, pathetic nobody?
You continue to annoy me. Lightning!
Don't even think about it.
Why, you meddlesome...
Now, Lil, get the doohickey.
Not before I go back one more time.
No!
Lil!
What, Dad?
I just had the strangest... Wait a minute, where am I? What happened?
Do you want the long version or the short version?
Don't be cute. I remember we were back in time at the royal wedding. Tyronius had the chronometer. You distracted him and I grabbed for it and
before I could even blink, we were right back where we started, in the war room with the princess. Except Tyronius wasn't there and you were unconscious. You've been in bed for a week. You've been muttering some very strange stuff. A scary tree monster who became a mayor? Ridiculous.
Tyronius wasn't there? What happened to him? And the war? And Desdemona?
There's someone waiting to see you who might do a better job of filling you in than me.
Hello, Lil.
Desdemona? You're being mind controlled by Tyronius. You need to listen to me.
It's really me. I'm not under Tyronius' spell anymore.
You're not wearing his amulet anymore. Did you know that it was allowing him to control your mind?
No, I wasn't aware of that when he gave it to me.
And that a spell could only be broken by true friendship. And then you started to break free because I was your true friend. So are we like besties now?
Again, I don't recall any of this. As far as I remember, he tried to grab the chronometer from you, then in a flash of light, he was gone. There hasn't been a trace of him or the device since.
Is there a chance he still has it? Is he back in time right now, messing things up even more?
It's doubtful. From what we understand from Dr. B's notes, once a chronometer has been synced to an individual's life force, it can prove disastrous to anyone else who tries to meddle with it.
So, Dr. B, she's really...
Yes. Unfortunately, she remains dead. When you reappeared without the chronometer, we lost the ability to go back and fix things, including the terrible things I may have said or done while under his control. I'm so sorry. Can you ever forgive me?
Of course I can. You weren't you. I can only imagine what it would have been like to be under that creep spell.
Thank you, Lil.
And can you forgive me, Your Majesty, for forgetting to tell you how grateful we are, allowing me to return to my post, and for personally taking such good care of Lil this week?
Of course, Hamish. But the Sprawl is grateful to your daughter, Lil, for all she has sacrificed to save it.
But the war, has it changed? Tyrone said that he was going back to kill Chuck and...
Chuck is alive and well, thanks to you. And we still lost the war. But with Tyronius missing, things seem to have taken a turn for the better. We are still not out of the woods, but the worst is behind us. The Mages Guild has scattered. We discovered that some of the more loyal mages to Tyronius were supporting the enemy army with magic. But without this advantage, they were incapable of delivering a fatal blow to our fair city. The enemy is still there, just outside the walls, and months of negotiations are ahead, but hopefully I can avoid any further bloodshed.
Well, that's good news at least. So, what now?
What do you mean, what now?
Well, do you need me to unmask a goblin spy, work the night shift, harass any of your advisors?
Lil, don't you get it? It's over. You don't have to do any of that anymore. Let the grown-ups do their jobs. Besides, I don't want you to be a guardsman anymore. I'd like you to just be my friend.
That sounds good to me.
Join me at the palace once you're feeling up to it. I'll have the kitchen cook up some tacos.
Finally!
Talk about fancy friends. She seems nice. I'd love to spend the day with you, but I've got a shift down at the guard shed. You can do whatever you want. Chill. Go play. Have that childhood you keep talking about. Or, join me for another shift.
Well, one more shift couldn't hurt, could it?
Without the burden of Tyronius's amulet affecting her judgment, Desdemona became the strong ruler the sprawl needed to negotiate its surrender and lead the subsequent peace talks. She was able to win a number of concessions from the enemy that allowed the sprawl to retain some of its freedom under occupation. As it happens, in secret, a certain hooded figure leads a growing resistance that will one day overthrow the occupiers. Desdemona and Chuck's marriage was, unfortunately, no match for the pressures put on them by the sprawl's defeat. The divorce was as amicable as any royal divorce could be. A source in the palace shared that the two remain friends. When the sprawl fell to the enemy forces, the occupiers' hatred and intolerance towards non-human races took greater root in the city. This forced many underground, which, if you were a mole person, is no big deal. Not great for the others, though. The Goblin Liberation Army continued meeting in secret and has become an instrumental part of the insurgency movement against the Sprawl's occupying forces. On the final day of the war, a power-hungry Tyronius used the wicket on his 3 rival advisors. Thankfully, he was confused by the contraption and accidentally denied them instead of sending them to the dungeon. Ousted, they walked to the nearest tavern outside of the sprawl and began to plot how to overthrow Tyronius and save the queen. It wouldn't be necessary in the end, as Lil did their jobs for them, again, but the act of plotting over drinks really brought the trio together. After the fall of the sprawl, Councilwoman Ash was enlisted by the enemy to be their intermediary to the Queen. The occupiers saw her as an effective and ruthless new hire, but they greatly underestimated her spycraft. This Employee of the Month secretly fed intel to the Resistance, which monumentally weakened the enemy's hold on the sprawl. Lieutenant Stryker's execution was immediately scheduled by the enemy. However, before she could be hanged, she disappeared from prison. Cries of "Viva la Goblution" were heard in the vicinity of the dungeon, and although she hasn't been seen, it is believed that she is in hiding, assisting the insurgency. Malcolm disappeared, as did a not insignificant sum from the palace treasury. Meanwhile, rumors out of Fireball Canyon tell of a new circus, the most outrageous and lavish circus the world has ever seen. The rumors also tell of its charismatic ringleader and the fish he wears on his belt. Dr. Beatrix von Matterhorn's body was never recovered. Since her presumed death, Lil has been having the most vivid dreams of Dr. B, traveling through alternate versions of the sprawl. In these dreams, the lost scientist seems to be trying to tell her something, but Lil can never remember exactly what it is upon waking. Lil and Hamish continue to live above the Twisted Sisters Tavern. They were able to purchase new furniture and a second outfit, thanks to a gift from the palace for Lil's role in saving the world. Lil continued to cover for her dad at the guard shed, and he continued placing bets on Goblin Ball games. Customer surveys indicate that Lil has become somewhat better at the job.
What about old Echo the Wanderer, you ask? Well, that's me! I'll continue to chronicle the happenings of the sprawl, from the migration of the birds to the illegal fish fights down at the docks. So remember, when you get a snoot full of pungent peace blossom in your nose, I'll be there. When you overorder pizza at your place of business and people are invited to take some home, I'll be there. And when the next calamity threatens the lives of the good people of the sprawl, I'll be there.